It's wonderful to be with you here tonight, and I do want to begin with a heartfelt thank you. Many of you have been supporters of the Invictus Games Foundation since its earliest days, and while others are joining this community for the first time. To all of you, welcome, and thank you for believing in what we do and how we do it. I am incredibly proud of the milestones we've reached together, from Vancouver Whistler, who pioneered a hybrid Winter Games, to the first ever Veterans Day in Germany, to the remarkable progress in Nigeria, where just 3 years in, we already see a national program flourishing, complete with an Armed Forces Invictus Center being built in Abuja as we speak. I believe 40% complete already. Bless you. That does not deserve a round of applause, surely. Surely. This is what I'm talking about, you see, been up here too long. And of course, our recent visit to Ukraine, where I witnessed again how urgent and vital our work is. In each of these places, Invictus has been the spark, but it is the leadership, the local communities, and the determination of service personnel themselves that carry it forward. This is what Invictus does best. It catalyzes change. It shows what is possible when courage is met with opportunity, and when recovery is supported by respect and community. That is why tonight is so important, because as proud as I am of our first decade, I know the next decade matters even more. We live in a time when conflicts rage across the globe, when anger and resentment towards those who are different can feel overwhelming. And the Invictus community stands as a direct challenge to that. We prove that unity is not just possible, but formidable. That the bonds of courage, respect, and humanity are stronger than the divisions of politics, background, or nationality.
The British media machine has been in overdrive this week, trying to control the narrative around Prince Harry's latest visit to the UK. The tabloids, the royal correspondents, the online critics, they've all been feverishly trying to spin a tale. The headline they all coveted, the story they were so desperate to sell, was about a reconciliation. A son meeting his father, King Charles, after more than a year of estrangement, and they tried to frame it as the ultimate triumph of the monarchy. They yearned for this moment to be about Harry coming home and finally submitting to the institution he abandoned. But let's set the record straight. That meeting, while significant, was not the main story. It was a footnote in the grander, far more compelling narrative of Harry's life and work. The real story, the one the UK press will never fully appreciate, unfolded just hours after that private tea at Clarence House. After a long-awaited reunion with his father, Harry didn't linger. He didn't engage in endless press briefings or carefully staged photo ops. Instead, he went straight to an event that truly defines him, an Invictus Horizons gathering at the iconic Gherkin in London. This wasn't about royalty, it was about legacy. He was there to celebrate a decade of the Invictus Games Foundation and to look to the future. And what did he say in his speech? He said, "We cannot, we must not, and we will not look away." He spoke about how Invictus catalyzes change and shows what's possible when courage is met with opportunity. These weren't just words, they were a statement of purpose. It was a man, just hours after an emotional family moment, transitioning seamlessly into a role he chose, a role as a leader, a veteran, and an advocate. That meeting, while significant, was not the main story. It was a footnote in the grander, far more compelling narrative of Harry's life and work. The real story unfolded just hours after that private tea at Clarence House at an Invictus Horizons gathering at the iconic Gherkin in London. Prince Harry, fresh from that emotionally charged meeting with his father, King Charles, didn't waste any time in getting back to the work that truly defines him. He didn't spend his time pandering to the press or basking in the glare of carefully staged photo ops. Instead, he headed straight to an event that was all about legacy, not royalty. It was a celebration of a decade of the Invictus Games Foundation. It was a moment to reflect on the past, but more importantly, it was a chance to look to the future. And Prince Harry was right there in the thick of it, leading the charge. In his speech, he made his mission clear. We cannot, we must not, and we will not look away, he declared. He talked about the power of Invictus to catalyze change, to show what's possible when courage is met with opportunity. This wasn't just rhetoric, it was a declaration of intent. Just hours after an emotional reunion with his father, Prince Harry was back in his element, doing what he does best. He was there to welcome the new CEO, Rob Owen, and to ensure that the foundation continues to be built on sustainable leadership, not just on his royal status. The media may try to spin this as a half-in, half-out arrangement, a concept that the late Queen Elizabeth II supposedly forbade. But that's just a tired and false narrative. They're trying to equate charity work with royal work as if only the monarchy has the right to do good. But let's look at the facts. The Invictus Games Foundation continues to grow, attracting major sponsors like American Airlines, Boeing, and BetterUp. Why? Because they align themselves with a movement that has moral and cultural power. They're getting the job done. And that's more than can be said for the Royal Foundation, which spends millions on expenses while delivering only a fraction of that to actual charity. Prince Harry's strength lies in his authenticity. The humor he showed, the lighthearted jokes about London's tube strike, the serious words about unity and hope. It all comes from a place of genuine lived experience. He's a man who has served, who has struggled, and who has found purpose. And that truth resonates with every veteran he meets, every person he touches. The Invictus Games continue to grow, attracting major sponsors, because they align themselves with a movement that has moral and cultural power. That's the real story, the one that the British media machine doesn't seem to understand. But it's a story that we're proud to share with you, right here on Royal Telly. Harry's strength lies in his authenticity. This isn't just a catchy phrase or an easy headline, it's the truth. It's a truth that's been shaped by his experiences, his challenges, and his victories. It's a truth that's been honed through years of service, not only to his country, but also to a cause that's greater than himself. Prince Harry has lived a life that is far from ordinary. From his earliest days, he has been in the global spotlight, a part of a family with a lineage that's steeped in tradition and protocol. Yet it's through this unique path he's walked that he's found his voice, his passion, and his purpose, his humor, his charm, his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. It all stems from a place of authenticity. Whether he's joking about London's infamous tube strike or speaking passionately about unity and hope, he's being true to himself. He's not putting on a show or playing a part. He's simply being Harry. And it's this authenticity that resonates so powerfully with veterans and everyday people alike. It's why when Harry speaks, people listen. Not because he's a prince or because he's part of the British royal family, but because he's a man who's turned his struggles into strength, his pain into purpose. He's a man who's served his country, who's worn the uniform and put his life on the line. He's a man who's known loss, who's mourned in the public eye, and who's found a way to turn his grief into a force for good. He's also a man who's struggled, who's faced his demons, and who's been open about his mental health journey. He's not hidden his battles or his scars. Instead, he's used them to break down stigmas and to shine a light on the importance of mental health. And it's this authenticity, this willingness to be open and honest, that has allowed him to connect with people on a deep personal level. It's why veterans feel seen and understood by him. It's why ordinary people feel inspired by his story. Because at the end of the day, Harry isn't just a prince. He's a man who's used his platform to make a difference, to champion causes close to his heart, and to give a voice to those who often feel voiceless. And it's this authenticity, this genuine lived experience that makes Harry so much more than just a royal. His humor, his passion, his dedication, it all comes from a place of truth, a truth that resonates with every veteran and every person he meets. So as we wrap up this scene, let's remember this. Prince Harry isn't defined by his title or by his family or by the media's narrative. He's defined by his authenticity, by his actions, and by his unwavering commitment to making a difference. He is a man who has served, who has struggled, and who has found purpose. That truth resonates with every veteran and every person he meets. The narrative the British media tried to sell was about a son coming home and finally submitting to the monarchy. But the real story, the one that truly matters, is about a man committed to his purpose. A man who is far more than just a royal. Prince Harry's visit to the UK wasn't about reconciliation or submission. It was about legacy and service. It was about the Invictus Games Foundation, a testament to his dedication and a symbol of his unwavering commitment to support veterans around the world. He is a leader, a veteran, an advocate, and so much more. We can't let the narrative be controlled by those who refuse to see the full picture. We must focus on the real story, the one that matters, the story of a man committed to making a difference, a man who is authentically himself, a man who is more than just a royal. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, Royal Telly.